Hey, what's up, guys? This is James. I'm CEO of Bright Idea Marketing, and today I want to do a little bit more of a casual video. It's Saturday, so I figured I'd just kick back and relax and talk a little bit about how to get new customers. One thing that I've noticed over the past 8 years that I've been in business, and more specifically over the past couple months for sure, when I've had these conversations, but there's so many different opportunities and channels out there, and ways to bring in new customers. It kind of becomes confusing for a lot of people. Even for me, it's hard to keep everything in track. You've heard search engine optimization, you've heard Facebook advertising, you've heard billboards. People do billboards, they do direct mail pieces, they sponsor things. There's so many, business networking. There's just so many different avenues to bring in customers. And to be honest, all of those can work. It really comes down to your industry and how well you advance yourself in that whatever channel you've invested in. For example, business networking. If you're not really a people person, then you might struggle. I mean, you could get there and get better and improve and eventually make it work, but if that's not your best asset, or if you don't have somebody who can go out there and is really the people person, you shouldn't be doing that. In addition, there's some businesses that don't even have a big advantage going to business networking groups. So there's two layers of opportunities there, or variables that you need to think about. So what I want to do is I want to break it down real quick. This is going to be really short. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. So the real opportunities that I see online. So ignore everything physical, billboards, radio, magazines. Ignoring on that is strictly digital. You're looking at search engine optimization, which is getting your website ranked in Google, or advertising. I'm going to keep that general. That could mean YouTube advertising. That could be advertising on Facebook. It could mean advertising on Google. So if you look at those two different categories, search engine optimization, here are the pros. The pros is once you get ranked, then you don't have to pay for everybody who sees your website, like advertising. You don't have to pay for that ranking that's always going to be there if you keep maintaining it. So the benefit there is, in the long run, it's great. It's like an asset that just keeps producing leads. It doesn't cost you per lead. The disadvantage of search engine optimization is it takes a long time. There's tons of businesses out there, and no matter what industry you're in, or how new it is, you're going to have a lot of competition. I don't care if you're an engineer, if you're a website developer, if you're a plumber, you're going to have massive competition. So with that said, search engine optimization is great, but it's just going to take several months and sometimes several years if you're in a very competitive space. So, SEO again is a great long-term investment, a great thing to invest in, because you don't have to pay every time somebody comes in to your website or hears about you. It just takes forever. So the alternative is advertising. Advertising puts you right in front of the customer the same day that you hit push an ad live. So it's really just immediate results is what happens with the paid. The problem with that is every time you get somebody to come into your website, we'll say, you have to pay for it. So it probably costs more at the transactional level. SEO, again, after you've built up to a certain foundation, you're not paying for everybody to see your stuff. So those are the two differences. Of course, there's pros and cons. One of them is, if you don't have a lot of money, then search engine optimization is probably the way to go. But if you have even $500 extra that you're willing to dedicate to advertising and getting new customers, which I hope you are, because $500 is, I spend a lot of that on even smaller things than advertising. But yeah, if you can dedicate $500, $1,000, even two, three, or five, however much you can do, advertising is the way to go, because you can get customers the same day that you turn those ads on, and you can't do that with SEO. So my advice would be start with advertising. If you can get a little bit of cash, start with advertising to get those customers coming in. But at the same time, start doing some search engine optimization. Either have a company do it for you, or just start writing content for your website. That'll give you a pretty good start. But just work on the advertising, because getting in front of people immediately is more important than getting in front of people 6 months from now. Your business could be dead by the time you get to that. So, hope that helps explain things a little bit better. Those are the two categories to bring in customers online. So, if you have any questions, leave comments, and I'm more than glad to answer them. Again, this has been James. I'm CEO of Bright Idea Marketing.